All right. Hey, good morning, everybody. We are hot off the press today. And hey, we got a kind of a fun show. We've got two brothers that are joining us today. I'm not even sure where you guys are located. I kind of forgot. Um, Down south somewhere. I don't know. But Joey and Mike Brusca from build assets online. I'm going to go ahead and bring them in. Let me drop this screen here. And boom, we got Joey, we got Mike.
Oh,
There
there's
they
Mike.
are.
All right. Now I can hear him.
Yeah, we were
Yeah, and you
separated
guys look
before.
good. He's got that cool background too that looks,
We're trying to upgrade our studio to appeal more to the younger generation, but we have a long way to go.
Good. So, where are you guys located? Are you in the same vicinity or?
We're from New Jersey.
Oh,
So,
Jersey. That's right.
yeah, not very south, but yeah, we both live in New Jersey. So, born and raised Jersey boys.
I don't know why Joey sounds like he could be from Atlanta or someplace.
Oh, I haven't got that one before.
All right. So I'm going to hit people and say, hey, if you join in, you can ask questions in the chat. Hey, Jesper, good to see you. Jesper, all the way. You guys know Jesper Neeson from from Yax and
I'll
out in Denmark.
I'll tell you, Jesper is my new friend. So it's kind of funny. When we connected with you a couple months ago or whatever, recently I guess 2 weeks ago I was poking around on your website and I was trying to figure out how you were kind of doing some of the stuff that you were doing because
Yeah.
we'll get into this later, but I was trying to
You're sleuthing, huh?
so I was trying to increase the amount of SEO tactics at my disposal. And long story short, I got into I found Jesper that way, like 2 weeks ago, and we've been talking ever since. And I've been using Yax, and it's been great.
Yeah, Yax is great. I don't know. I've been using. I'm trying to think how long I've been using Yax. Probably, I don't know. I was one of Jesper's early adopters, so probably at least close to 2 years, maybe something like that. Yeah. Yeah.
Well,
it's a
that's
great
how I
program.
that's how I find out. That's how I ran into it just 2 weeks ago, just by poking around at what you were doing, and we're just looking for some extra tools for the toolbox.
Yeah, some extra juice. Yes. Well, Jesper's got a great platform going on there, so that's good. All right. So, yeah. So, folks, if you're online, drop questions in as they come up to you. Drop them in the comments. Always smash the like button, follow, share, all of that. Invite your friends. All of the fun stuff. We got Pamela on from. I know Pamela's out in the Bay Area, I think, and certainly in California. So it's nice and early for Pamela to join us. That's good. Thank you. All right. So, Joey, Mike, why don't you give us a little bit of background so people don't know who the hell you guys are? Why don't you share a little bit what your background is and what you do now? And then we can dig into that.
You do it, Joe.
All right. So I'll set the stage for you. It was 2014, out of college, master's degree, corporate job, miserable. I wanted to be a pro gamer, and I was trying to figure out, how do I quit my job? How do I quit my job so I could play more games online and become a pro gamer? I ran into somehow Pat Flynn's podcast, where he had this lady on called named Jessica LaRue, and what she specialized in was retail arbitrage on Amazon. and I had no, completely clueless about this world. I bought her course. I called my mom before I bought it because didn't really know about buying stuff online or credit. I was like, if I buy this thing online and it's a scam, can I like dispute it with the credit card? And she said, yeah, I think so. So I ended up buying this course from Jessica LaRue in 2014. And pretty much the next day at work, I was on my lunch break looking for products to resell on Amazon. And that's how it all started. And it kind of amazed me. I remember I was probably like 2 or 3 months in, and I think I was making like 50K a year at my job. And I went to like some like lots liquidation store, and I remember just picking up like I don't know, probably like 30 of these bracelet kits. And I remember it was like 30 minutes of work, and I knew I was going to make way more per hour doing that than at my regular job.
Mm.
Just because I don't know, I got like 30 of these and I could make like $5, $6 profit on each of them. And I knew it was going to take me like 20 minutes to put on all the stickers and send them to Amazon. So kind of since that moment, I realized that, wow, like, there's so many ways to make money that people aren't even thinking about. But fast forward a little bit, that kind of got a little crazy. It's hard to scale up retail arbitrage. You always got to be going around to places, buying new stuff. So that kind of led to Kindle publishing. And around that time, that's when Mike got his first job. And so we both started doing Kindle publishing, and we were publishing romance books. And I put out a series even before that, I put out a series of coloring books for adults when it was red hot. Like, I think this was like 2016, like they first came out. They were like all the rage. And I remember I put out these 5 books that I made with like a computer program, just making like geometric shapes. And I made like $10,000 in like the first 15 days from just posting these on Amazon print on demand.
Wow.
And once that happened, I kind of realized, oh my God, this is like Amazon retail arbitrage, but it's 100% margin, and I don't have to buy the inventory. So then we got into Kindle publishing. We were publishing romance books, and yeah, I guess Mike, you could take it from here, because I think this is where.
I mean, so at that point, like Joe said, I basically, graduated college, had gotten a job doing engineering, whatever. And so I saw that Joe was, doing weird stuff on Amazon. So I figured, okay, why don't I give this a shot as well? Because I didn't love my job either. And basically, started doing, like Joe said, we were publishing romance books. So basically we had ghostwriters, we had a whole writing team set up, cover designers, etc. And we started doing this. I started doing it, I want to say November 2015. And then within a few months, I was making more than I was making at my job, 5,000 a month, 8,000 a month, etc. So Joe had just, I think, just bought a house, was getting ready to buy a house. I had quit my job after like 9 months. I put in my 2 weeks, whatever. And then all of a sudden, Amazon basically did a bunch of rule changes. And basically anybody that was no longer following the rules that they just changed, they suspended. And so when they did that, what people don't realize with Amazon is you don't get paid out very quickly, especially with Kindle. You get paid out maybe 60 days after you earn what you earn for that month. So let's say you make money in January, you're not getting paid for January until March. So this was in March of 2016, and Amazon basically suspended myself, suspended Joe. And so with that, they took January and February royalties from us, which was a lot of money. I just quit my job. Joe was doing this full time. He just bought a house. So we basically had to figure out, oh,
Yeah, you rejoined, Randy.
the mask
Yes,
is
I
off.
rejoined. Here I am.
So yeah, like Mike was saying, I had bought a house. He just quit his job, and literally on the day he quit his job, both our Amazon accounts got suspended with like, we weren't going to get paid basically.
Right. God.
So that was when our whole build assets online we didn't have our YouTube channel, but that's when we realized we kind of needed to, figure more stuff out to have more income streams online, because it was horrible just being reliant on this one arm of Amazon, which was Kindle publishing. We did end up getting our accounts back. I guess I'll just keep talking.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on with him. That's why I stopped.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
There you go. Now he's back. He got the bricks.
We did end up getting our accounts back, but
no, you guys keep talking. I'm like playing around with stuff in the background, hopefully.
You're good now.
Yeah. But it was like a couple of months, I think, before we got our accounts back, and we had already started building dropshipping stores between the time we got suspended and then the time we got our account back, because like I just bought my house. Mike just quit his job. So we pretty much said, all right, until I move, we're going to go to my parents' house. And for 2 weeks, we're just going to do nothing but figure out high ticket dropshipping. And this was like 2016, 2017. And so much dawned on us at that time. That was the first we were exposed to like search intent on Google, and just having the realization that when someone types something into a search engine, if they type a certain thing, it's indicative that they want to buy something. So that revelation kind of opened up the doors to everything. And then, since then what we like to do is when we see something like is working, we try to do it as much as possible. So we made like, I think 6 or 7 high ticket dropshipping stores. We've since like sold all of them except one. But yeah, it's been a good journey, because once we learned about search intent and how powerful that is, we then learned that you could sell a website. So we've sold, lots of dropshipping stores. We sold our Kindle publishing business on Empire Flippers, and Quiet Light Brokerage is where we've kind of sold all of our stuff. And that's kind of been the journey. And between there, we made our YouTube channel.
So that is, I find it amazing, because you guys are like the, the poster child for all of the, hey, get rich, you can make money online too, kind of, and but you guys like lived it and show it. And I'm like fascinated at the whole thing on the Kindle publishing, because you see that a lot right now as well. People dropping in and doing a lot of talking about doing Kindle publish and utilizing ChatGPT. But my guess is when you guys were doing your romance publishing, there was no GPT out there. There was no AI generating content. Where were you getting your content? I don't, no offense to you, Joey, but you don't look like you're a romance writer. So
listen, I've written a few of the verses, a few of the chapters in those books, and I'll tell you one thing. It was mostly about the cover back in those days. The cover was more important than the content, but
especially back in the day. I mean, yeah, Kindle publishing has gone through a lot of iterations. People do nonfiction, people do fiction, but yeah, I mean, at that point, we would hire people from Upwork to do the ghostwriting for us. We would use Fiverr for the cover, and yeah, I mean, when it was working, it was great, because you just put this piece of content out there and then the money just comes in. And I remember being at my job, just like on the Kindle dashboard. I wasn't even doing anything at work. I would just sit there and refresh the dashboard and watch as the dollars went up that I was making that day. But that taught us a very valuable lesson, in that people get caught up in just using the magical Amazon money machine to rely their whole lives, like that, all their income on that. And Amazon giveth, but Amazon can take it as well. And people even see this in the SEO world with the affiliate commissions, right? Things started out at 5%, then they go down to 3%, then 2%. So yeah, it really taught us we can't have all of our eggs in one basket. And like Joe said, that's kind of how Build Assets Online was born, right? We're going to have a Kindle publishing business, but also we're going to have dropshipping businesses. And then Joe started really getting into the SEO, and we created, I don't know, we have dozens, I guess, blog sites that make money. So, we've really learned to diversify our income and treat online business almost as managing a portfolio of, little businesses. And yeah,
Yeah.
that's allowed us to, number one, test out a bunch of business models, see which work better than others, which are more reliable than others, and even combine stuff. Because really, another big revelation for us was taking a lot of the SEO principles from, some of the big affiliate marketing techniques, et cetera, and applying it to high ticket dropshipping. Because
Mm.
dropshipping has its own stigma, which we can get into, but SEO is a lot of times talked about in relation to affiliate marketing or AdSense or even local. But what we did was take a lot of those principles, apply them to selling a high ticket product where you're selling a brand that has demand, you're selling a product that has a lot of margin. And then when you can get organic traffic, even just for these long tail terms, the results have a huge payoff. So that's where we've done a lot of work as well.
And before I forget, Randy, if I could just add to something.
Well, I will tell you that. Yeah.
Oh, I just want to add to something you said about the poster child thing. You said you guys are the poster childs for make money online, and you could, get rich and do it too. Having coached a lot of students over the years, I've kind of come to observe what makes people successful at that and what makes people not successful at it. Obviously, there's a lot of nonsense out there. There's a lot of BS. We've probably spent, I don't know, probably over 100,000 in different courses and different educational packages over the years. But the way I approach it is, it's always like, if I could take, I look at it as like the accumulation of knowledge. So if I could take one little thing here, like Mike was talking about, like, we learned about stuff like the keyword golden ratio from like SEO affiliate marketing courses that we bought. And we knew about dropshipping from other courses that we bought. So it was always like, okay, I see how these two things connect. So let's try to combine them and see what we can get out of here. So, but just I'm saying, you can't approach it like, we never really approach it like we're going to get rich and make money like quick. Like that was never our mindset towards it. Our mindset has always just been like learning and connecting the dots between how the tactics and strategies that people are talking about kind of can interconnect with one another, and also like how to better execute those tactics and how to figure out, okay, this action you're taking, this step that you're doing, what's the ROI on your time and like your effort for this? Because there's lots of different things you could do online to make money, but not all of them I would do, not only because like simply because they might take too much time or too much money or the payoff would be too long. What we like doing is we like taking asymmetrical bets. So with high ticket dropshipping, we're not buying any inventory, so we would just, if we're starting a store, we're going to get on the phone. We're going to call 100 suppliers in a week. A couple of them are going to let us in. We're going to have access to sell some products where we make $200 to $1,000 per sale. From there, we can advertise it profitably. We can rank for some easy long tail keywords. And there's nothing crazy about it. You don't have to even get into some heavy hitting advanced SEO to succeed at something like that. So we always look at it from the framework of little money in, a lot of money out, and as little time in as possible. So always taking asymmetrical bets. Like if we do this, the odds of us losing money are very, very low.
Mm-hmm. I got to tell you, there's so much great stuff you're sharing. I love Jones. Hey man, hey William, thanks for dropping by, and he says awesome value. You guys are dropping so much great stuff. So a couple of things I want to highlight, I guess, is one that Mike rolled through, which is really about diversifying your portfolio, and I think. I'm a big fan of that, big proponent. I think you should always have kind of multiple silos of revenue coming through so that, and if any one particular platform or something changes the game, that you're not, completely sideways on your opportunity to make a livelihood, like Amazon shutting down your store or doing changing commissions or something like that. And the other thing and it kind of leads into this, which is, really try to control your destiny as much as you can rather than relying on others. And Joey, you kind of roll into this, which is really you kind of like look for opportunities, mitigate your risk or the downside of it. And, like, hey, here's a good formula. And I always tell people as well, somewhat when we're doing pay-per-click campaigns or ads, online ads, is that once you kind of figure out the algorithm of it, meaning if we spend this on these ads, we know we're going to generate X number of leads. We can convert Y number of those leads into transactions and earn X number of dollars. Well, then you just make the algorithm work for you, right? So make all of the factors work. And then once you get that down, you can just like start, really rolling. And so you can kind of control your destiny a bit more with that. But I love your approach to it. I think it's terrific. I threw up your website, Build Assets Online. It's in the chat, folks. Here it is there. You can go online and check out some of the different things the guys are doing. So let me throw a question at you. So you started, you guys are rolling, you're doing your business. When did you decide, like, hey, I think we're going to kind of coach people, and do your own training and coach people on how to replicate what you guys have done?
Oh yeah. If anyone checks out our website, by the way, it hasn't been updated in probably years. Just some of the, I mean, the link to join the program is there, but a lot as far as the content, it's very dated. So if you remember how I said that we always like to buy courses, it was
Right.
we bought. I don't know if you know who John Dykstra is.
Yeah.
He's in the niche site blog space. He's got a couple big. He makes a lot of his money through ad revenue. So we bought one of his programs, one of his coaching programs, in an effort to learn more about SEO, like back in 2019, 2018. And just from getting on a few calls with him and kind of talking about what we were doing, he was like, no one is doing what you guys are doing in terms of the drop shipping stuff. I think people would really love it if you made a program. And that's how it happened. And he was the first one and I was like, so, okay, if we make it, you're going to send it out, like, maybe we could do it like an affiliate thing. So that kind of gave us the push to do it. And then he blasted it out to his email list. And that was how we got started. But we had kind of always, I guess, like I said, when you've bought so many courses and then you end up doing them and, like, I guess, outperforming what the other students are doing and what the course creators are talking about, it was kind of always our mindset, like, oh man, we should be the ones making the courses. So it was kind of always there, but John gave us the extra push, I would say, gave us the confidence, I guess, as well. I don't know where he went.
Yeah. I think that's kind of fascinating on what the course is. So obviously you've taken a lot of courses, you've done a lot of courses, you pull this thing together. Are your courses set up where you're kind of doing rolling masterminds, or people kind of can start at any point that they want and then complete the course? Do you guys do kind of weekly check-ins? How do you guys structure your?
By the way, it says Mike got just kicked out. Says he didn't touch anything. But anyway, I'll answer that question. So basically what we do is we have a private Discord server. I don't know if you know what Discord is, but it's just like, it's meant like for gaming, but so you could set up a bunch of channels. So within Discord, every one of our students has a private channel. So they can ask us questions within there. So they get access to, video library, and we tell them, hey, based on where they're at, like, look at this, and this, do this, and then ask us questions. So that's how we do it. And we also let people book calls with us, just depending on the kind of package they got. So that's kind of how we do it. We actually, I mean, I feel like we give more individual attention to our students than anything else that I've gotten for sure with other courses. But yeah, I think we did it kind of almost out of necessity as well, because you know, you don't want to sell something and people are constantly emailing you, asking for questions, asking for refunds and things like that. So we tried to set it up in a way where we can, like with Discord, we can just efficiently answer questions as they come in. And I was inspired to do it that way because when we first started, we would get emails sometimes like, "Hey, I'm at this part in your course, like blah blah blah. What do I do?" And writing an email could be pretty cumbersome. Like, "Hey, Randy, thanks for checking in." You know, but the Discord, it's all kind of, it's almost like a support desk, and so we just can breeze right through it, you know, very efficiently.
Yeah, yeah.
Also keeps us updated on what is going on with different Google changes and what struggles people are having, and gives us that real time feedback, which helps us even for our own stores. Like we know what challenges people are facing, and yeah, keeps us constantly abreast to the new challenges, or even what's working currently and what's not working.
Right, right. Well, plus it's always nice to have that conversation, I think, with folks on a platform, that are utilizing your services. It helps. I think it helps create a good relationship and just for ongoing opportunities. So you do this large ticket drop ship, and I know people that are watching may wonder what in the world that is exactly. It probably sounds more complicated than what it really is. I don't. You guys want to do a quick, like, what is that and what does that mean, and then give a little background on what some of those items would be that you've done. And I'm curious. And so give you, yeah, you guys give the background, but then you've mentioned that you've built up and have sold a number of your large ticket dropship sites, and maybe walk through that process. When did you decide to do it? How did you do it? Was it a good situation for you? That kind of thing.
Sure. So really the term that you can search is high ticket drop shipping. And I'm sure if they do that, they'll find a number of our videos. But really, people think of drop shipping as, you get some little cheap trinket and then you do Facebook ads and try to have something go viral and make money that way. But really, this is kind of the opposite. We treat drop shipping just as a method of fulfillment. So if you ever shop on Amazon, Wayfair, Home Depot, it's very likely you've had a product drop shipped to you. It basically just means they're going to ship it from the manufacturer. And if you're in the US, they're going to be, that warehouse from the manufacturer is going to be in the US, and they ship it directly to the customer. So that's really what we do. And so one example, that we talk about often is like bathtubs, even like more fancy bathtubs, like freestanding ones, etc. There's a number of brands that exist. None are really, there are many, I should say, that are not very popular. Obviously, you have like Kohler, American Standard, like those are big American bath brands, but there's so many brands that exist that are under the radar, but yet there is search volume for them, for the brands, for people looking for a freestanding tub, for people looking for clawfoot tub, etc. And so what you can do is call up these brands selling these products and say, hey, I'm so and so, we have this store, I want to open up a wholesale account. And they'll basically give you access to their products. They'll give you, margin, whether that's 30% off what you sell it for, or etc. And you can go now and sell the products. So we use Google Ads as kind of the main source of traffic. So when people are searching for, freestanding tub, clawfoot tub, etc., we're going to show up in the shopping ads, text ads, whatever. And, if we have hundreds of dollars in margin to play with, and people are searching for kind of these high intent terms where you're showing up just for whatever the person's looking for, it makes it very likely that you'll be able to run profitable ad campaign. And then by doing that, you're building up monthly cash flow. You can go get more suppliers, and eventually you have this kind of little business that's making money month in, month out. And that turns into an asset you can sell for, a multiple of its monthly profit.
Right. Yeah, I love it. I think that is such a fabulous business model. And back to, you guys do all of the legwork, kind of identifying the products, making the relationship with the manufacturers, and setting it up that way. And then you just begin to kind of build the machine, so to speak, and make it work. And so, are you building? So, like in the affiliate world, because we do some affiliate marketing as well. Are you building out kind of a full blown website for that as well when you're doing the dropship stores, or is it more just a landing page that you're serving off of the ads?
Yeah, so we use Shopify. So we're going to build out basically, a full blown Shopify store, and it doesn't have to start with a lot. I think when we first started our original store, like Joe said, we did it in basically 2 weeks when we got to spend it on Kindle. Went from zero to making our first sale in 2 weeks flat. And that store maybe had 12 to 15 products when it first launched. And then by the end, it had hundreds of products, but we've had stores that have had thousands of products. And even now, like when you bring in SEO, you can get really complex in how you do the internal linking, and really, like, it's going to be a real business. It's going to be a real store, just like Home Depot has a real website, Wayfair has a real website. You can be in the same boat.
Yeah,
Mhm.
one thing that's important to
Uh,
understand is that
why did you decide to do
oh, sorry. I think you were gonna ask why I decided to do Shopify. Sorry, it's like a little bit of a delay, so it's hard to know
Yeah.
when someone's gonna talk. Um, but yeah, one thing to keep in mind is that there's a feed. So like something like Shopify allows you to easily create a product feed, which then gets uploaded to Google. And then you advertise in like Google Shopping, which I don't know if you've noticed, but if you search something, especially on mobile, I mean on both, but really on mobile, you notice this is that like if you search for so like if you think of an affiliate term, there's always like best in front of it, like best wireless router for apartments or something. But say if you just search wireless router, what you're going to see is tons and tons of Google Shopping listings that you might not even realize are ads. Tons and tons of product pictures like all over the place. So once Shopify easily allows you to, I mean, you could do this with anything really with WooCommerce, but Shopify really easily allows you to create, a feed that goes directly to Google, and then you have your stuff show up there. So, think of it in juxtaposition with the affiliate side of things. You want to rank for best wireless router. You got to make this page, do all this on-page optimization, build links. But with this, it's like a faucet. You turn it on and off. Suddenly, you're showing up in a lot of the spots on the search engine monopoly board, being the pictures and the shopping listings, just by syncing your feed to Google and setting up your ads correctly. So hopefully he's still there.
Now he's just frozen. Actually, I thought he was listening intently, but he's
Yeah.
he's just completely frozen now.
Yeah.
I don't know if you can hear me or
Holy
not,
cow.
but yeah.
Yeah, well, now you're back. So I don't know if it's
All right. All right. Well, I will just talk anyway. So if you can hear me, great.
we can hear you, Randy.
Okay. The yeah, I was really curious about why do Shopify. So from my perspective, from a SEO standpoint, we always kind of shied away from doing stuff on Shopify or some of these others just because from the SEO capability. But I know that that's improved in the last couple of years, especially. So when you guys are building it out, then these dropship Shopify sites, do you wait at a certain point? You're like, hey, this is hitting certain revenue thresholds, and that is your kind of flag to say, let's put it up and see if we can sell this store? Or when do you make that determination when it's a good time to maybe shop that site around yourself and see if you can pull your equity out.
You want me to answer that, Joe?
Yeah, I think you usually make the decision.
Okay. Well, so when it comes to
Mm.
SEO, you got to keep in mind that we weren't doing SEO for the first couple of years that we were doing dropshipping. We were just doing it mainly 100% with ads. So, number one, that's why we started using Shopify. But Shopify is a way better platform in terms of e-commerce than using WordPress and WooCommerce or anything else. So, Shopify is just miles ahead in that regard. And then when it comes to selling a store, really, I mean, like in our experience, like Joe said originally, we had made a bunch of stores. We had like 4 stores, maybe our first year. And so what happened was we were making, each store was making money, but it became a struggle to try and scale them all at once. So we had a store that was performing well, and we also had kind of some inefficiencies when it came to hiring people, and so it basically got to a point where it was like, okay, we can try and continue to grow the store and all the other stores, but it's gonna take a lot of work. Or we can basically, the store is making X amount a month. We can try and sell it, get a multiple that's going to be somewhere between 24 and 40 times what it's going to do monthly, and we're going to get paid out for 2 to 3 years on what the store was going to make anyway, and we could use that time to try and grow the other stores because now our time is limited. So that was really the idea behind selling the first store, and we sold that for like $133,000, which at the time was definitely a lot, but looking back, we definitely probably sold it a bit too early, which is okay because again, it showed us how to basically take what we learned and repeat it over and over, and that's been the most valuable skill we've learned in the realm of high ticket.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. Go ahead, Joy.
Oh, I was going to add to what you said about Shopify having limited SEO capabilities. What I've seen more and more lately, and I don't know if this is a result of Google's like machine learning algorithm type thing. I feel like no one really has a good handle on these latest updates and exactly the factors that are determining. I mean, we know stuff like forums and Quora and Reddit have gotten a big boost. But from what I've observed, Shopify stores seem to be, and I've even seen some Shopify stores that don't even sell stuff. That's just like an affiliate site made on a Shopify store. I feel like those have been much more insulated to these updates than just the regular affiliate WordPress site. And I don't know exactly why that is. I've heard people speculate just that maybe the machine learning can pick up on some sort of homepage thing. And perhaps just the fact that if you build it on a Shopify store, Google detects it more like a real business. Just because you have a phone, you have a phone number, contact us, return policy, shipping policy. So all of those EEAT things are more naturally built into a Shopify store than on your run-of-the-mill affiliate WordPress site. So I don't know exactly why, but that's just been my observation.
Yeah. I think that's interesting, especially over the last couple of months. I mean, when they started, meaning Google, like in August, they started rolling out that update, and then they ran that through, and then they followed up another one in October. When those two hit, we have 2 of our affiliate sites in particular just took a beating. And I couldn't figure out why, because we had, so when you start talking about the EEAT stuff, I mean, both of these sites, when we build out our affiliate sites, we're building out full profiles on the authors, the contributors, with social profiles, doing everything that we can. We've got all of the information on there. And it was not AI content. We didn't build any of these sites with AI content. So it wasn't like it was all of a sudden got hammered with AI detection or something. But thankfully, over the last probably 10 days, we're seeing that these things are coming back from the dead, so to speak, which is good. Um, but that's interesting that you say that about Shopify sites, though, that maybe they didn't quite get the same hammer to them as some WordPress sites. That's
You know,
interesting.
it could just I don't obviously no one really knows how the machine learning algorithms work.
Yeah,
So it could just be, I don't know, some sort of correlation that they pick up on Shopify sites that, for whatever reason
yeah.
they determine this as authoritative. On the AI content thing, we have a website that gets probably 1 million hits a month and just makes money with ad revenue. It started out probably in like 2019, 2020, all human written. There's probably like 100 pieces of human written content on there, and then 250,000 pieces of AI content. So in this last update, the human written content got decimated, but the AI content is doing fantastic. So it went from like 1.5 million down to like 1 million hits a month, and just the AI content is keeping the ship afloat there.
That is crazy, right? You would think the complete opposite of that. That kind of blows my mind. But that's kind of lends to proof of what I was just saying about two of our affiliate sites that have gotten hammered, is because they all human written content and just got painful. Yeah, yeah, and I think in previous conversations that we've had, I kind of laid out our process. We always invest in a site
Yeah.
kind of in at this time frame, kind of November, December. We build it up over a course of a year, and then once it gets to a certain kind of point through affiliate revenue, we look to go flip it. And both of those sites, we would have looked to go flip kind of now.
Yeah.
I'm like, whoops, I don't think we're going to be doing that for a little bit now.
Yeah, I think, I mean, it took me a while to learn this with SEO and niche sites. It's really important to not care. Once you start caring
Yeah,
about a website, that's when you're going to get hit. Our first website that
yeah,
we ever made, I hand wrote all the content. It was about like blenders, and I have a lot of blenders. I took my own pictures, wrote all the content, and it didn't help. It didn't help, and I just thought, why am I wasting all this time when I could just? I'm better off throwing stuff up as an experiment that I don't care about and seeing what happens,
right.
and again having that asymmetrical strategy in terms of time invested versus possible money out. Um, there's a website that we made. I made it. It's a one-page website, and it's about like rash guards for jujitsu, like those, like, I guess you could see like surfers wear them too, but like those tight
Like
things.
Under Armour.
Yeah, like the under, like
Yeah,
they like wick sweat, and
right.
it's a one-page website. And this website, I mean, it's nothing to write home about, but it's probably made like $100 a year for the past 4 or 5 years, just as one-page website. And obviously that's nothing, but it kind of made me realize, like, I put such little effort into this website. I probably spent 20 minutes on it, just setting up WordPress and then copying and pasting the content, which was human written. And it's like, why not just do more? Like, that's what it's all about. It's not about
Right.
caring about your blog sites. It's not like if you're doing a drop shipping store, it's different. There's more you have to care about. It's more of a real business. But if you're looking at something that you're just monetizing with pure Google organic rankings, that's not a real business. You have to treat it that way, in my opinion.
Yeah, 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 yeah. Well, for you, then, along those lines, you're just like, how do we replicate the opportunities that we know are making money for us? That we have to put in kind of minimal effort in it, right? Minimal time, even, which I think is good. And the other thing I think, which is a good point that you bring up about not caring so much, but it also then I think provides proof as well, like having multiple streams of revenue in your portfolio. So, if if one thing got dinged, you know, a couple of our affiliate sites, like, well, that kind of stinks. But that's not going to shut my lights off just because, that play didn't work. We've got other streams of revenue that we work and continue to drive. So
Yeah, and that freedom to experiment is really really important. That's why I feel like when people buy our course, for example, I really think that it is an asymmetrical bet, and that if you do everything right and you follow directions and you put the effort in, the odds of you getting a good ROI on everything are extremely high. But I never recommend that people go into debt or like try to do an online business as like a last resort with no other savings or income. And the reason is because, when you don't have that freedom to, like, I guess, experiment, or the freedom to I don't want to say fail, but like just the freedom to not be so tight about it. I just feel like it works out better, because there's always, if you want to try something, or say you want to increase your bids in an area, just these little micro decisions, maybe like on the ads front, you want to try out this text ad that you're not sure is going to work. And maybe it's a huge win and maybe it's not, but just having that room to try it, I think is really, really important.
I think freedom to
mm,
fail
got
actually
it.
is a good way to look at it.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah, I would
that's the
agree.
problem.
I think the freedom to fail. Yeah.
I mean, it kind of goes against our original story where we kind of had to make a dropshipping store.
What is your approach with SEO?
Sorry, it's kind of sorry difficult with there's like a delay, but
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I know I got this horrible lag going on here, and it's driving me crazy.
you said, what is our approach with SEO?
Yeah, that's where I was going. Yeah.
So I mean, for the longest time, probably up until pretty recently, our approach has always been either long tail in bulk, cheap, or long tail high ticket. So what I mean by that is, we have the site that I told you has 250,000 articles on it. That's like all AI. Probably cost like a cent or two per article. For high ticket dropshipping, we have many of our approach has been like, yeah, we can have high quality content for a long tail keyword, where even if it makes us a sale a month or a sale every few months, then it's totally worth it. So that's kind of been our approach at scale for a long time, to go after long tail, high reward stuff at scale. Now I'm kind of getting into more, because now we have that freedom to fail, and I'm not the most prolific SEO on the planet by any means, but now I'm kind of getting into learning, okay, starting to play with the big boys a little more, like, all right, what do we got to do to rank for this keyword, and this heavy hitting keyword. So now I'm starting to experiment a little more with that. And yeah, but the long tail stuff at scale has served us really well for a while. And I think, once you start getting into the non-long tail stuff, like the short tail, heavy hitting competitive keywords, you better have the freedom to fail there, because if you put all your effort into ranking one page for a keyword set, and then you get moved down or whatever, again, there goes all your income. So that's basically been the approach. It's kind of monetization first, really complicated SEO second, if that makes sense.
Yeah. No, that's a good approach. Really good approach. All right, so I'm going to roll with these guys. Put this back up. If you want to connect with Joey and Mike, you can hit their website over there, Build Assets Online. Go check out some of their training. Go connect. You've got a great YouTube channel as well. I didn't pull that up, but you can drop that in the chat if you want, guys. But Yeah. Do you guys, and your show, do you do your show is weekly? Is that right?
Yeah, weekly. A lot of live streams. Sometimes we'll do different interviews with students or other people. So yeah, they can just go on YouTube and search "Build Assets Online." I'm sure they'll find
Yeah.
us that way.
Yeah. Good stuff. All right, guys. Sorry about the technical issues going on here with my horrible live stream, but I appreciate you guys jumping on. And and again, folks, have any questions? Go encourage you to go reach out to them. Next week, I've got the one and only Holly Starks coming back on the show and chatting with us about various approaches that she is doing with content marketing. So could be interesting as well, and as well what she's doing out there in the AI world. So, but Joey and Mike, hey, thanks for jumping on. Appreciate your patience with the horrible connection we got going on here, but always fascinated to talk with you guys and hear what you're doing. I hope the best success for you guys.
Thank you.
Thank you, Randy. Take it easy.
All right.